And all right, so we're running here. Now, this is what we had at before the break, and I'm going to convert it into an edible poly just by right-clicking and selecting edible poly. Do not do it from the modifier list here. It's going to say like poly select. Don't do that. Don't use the edit poly. That's totally different from what I'm having you guys do. Make sure you just right-click the whatever it's named, which is going to be box or sphere or polygon or plane or whatever. And just do right here to edible poly. Okay, and now everybody gets caught up in this, so I'm going to try to help you guys get this like week 1. Let's see if we can all get it. If it doesn't, it's all right. It's no big deal. If you click on here, these are your vertices. Okay. Now let's go through this. Number 1 is vertex. Number 2 is edge. Number 3 is border. Number 4 is polygon. Those are the most important ones. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. 1 is vertex. Number 2 is polygon. No, sorry. Number 2 is edge. Number 3 is border. And number 4 is polygon. Now, when you select one of these, that's it. You're selected on this object. The only time that you can deselect from this object is when you come up to edible poly here and click again. Now you can click on any other object and begin manipulating those objects, okay?
You have to click on.
You have to click here on the edible poly. So click, declick. If you click it, you can't click anywhere else to deselect it unless you click edible poly. So now I'm just going to do some basic molding here. I'm going to go to my front view here, and I'm just going to grab these vertices. Now, right here, when I drag this out, this is called a marquee selection, okay? And what I'm going to do, now, I know how to work in, you know, things like the different modes. Please don't do it the way that I'm doing it. Just so that you guys can see what happens when you use these tools, okay? Just to, you know, make sure you guys understand. So I'm going to use the Alt and the middle mouse button. My button is this right here, but you usually would use this button right here to rotate. So I'm going to hold it, and now I can rotate around. And I'm just going to move this in because I'm going to start my car. And then I'm just going to grab the next one, rotate back around, and I'm going to go to this one, and I'm just going to go around, and then I'm just going to grab these bottom ones and bring those in. So now I have the basic shape here. It kind of looks a little funky because of the front right there, but that's the basic shape. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these two right here, I'm going to delete it. So now I have this open right here, and I'm going to delete this back one. And that's using the delete function right there. Then what I'm going to do here is actually I need some more deleted. So I'm selecting one side here, but I want to add this other side. So what I do is I hold Control adds, Alt minuses, Control adds, Alt minuses. Make sure to write that down. I'm just going to delete a little bit more. So now I have that. Then, and this is right here. This is polygonal modeling right here. Is what I can do is I can switch to my edge mode by either selecting edge here or hitting number 2. Then I can take these edges, holding Control and W to move, and I can create edges here, just like this. And just holding the Shift button, I can create more edges. And then I can drag these out here. And here's the rule about this, guys. You must have vertices that you can weld to. I'll show you what I mean by that. So for instance, that doesn't look very good right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to vertex mode, which is, real quick, what number is vertex? 1. Awesome. And I'm going to right click. Oh, that's lovely.
So did you just hit 1?
1. Yeah, I just hit 1.
1.
Yeah, and I'm in vertex mode. Now I'm going to right click, and I have all these tools right here, okay? The tool I want to use is called target weld. Okay. Now, the rule with target weld is this: if you're welding from, let's say you want to weld your point to this point, right? You're not going to click this point and then select the other point. You're going to select the point that you want to weld to. Okay. Because what happens is this: when you click once, you get this line. You see the line here? And then you're going to select your other point that you're welding to, right here. And then it welds to it. Now we'll do this one. Exactly. I lost my selection. And then there's this right here. Now, you can't see the vertice here. If I hover over it, I can find it. But if you can't find it, here's the easy, quick way to switch to wireframe mode. Now, you gotta know what wireframe mode is, right? Where you're only seeing edges. You're not seeing any colors. You're seeing through everything. This can be kind of difficult to understand where things are at in your model, but this is another method you can use right here. It's called wireframe. You can get to that by selecting F3. F3 for wireframe. Now I can see that edge point right here, and I can weld it. And there's the basic look of the front of my car. It doesn't look too elaborate, but it's so far beginning. And then I'm just going to move these points out here. Actually, I'm going to do this in a straight line. And I might just grab these right here, bring these just out a little bit. And I like trucks. Who likes trucks? Everybody likes trucks, right? I was just curious. If I like trucks, it's alright. I know, everybody in Texas has a truck. And I'm just going to move these vertices around, and basically, then if I want to, I'm going to select these 2 points right here. And this is just, from here on out, it's just basically molding your object to being what you want it to be. And I mean, now I can just do everything else. I can create the, let's see here, I can go to my polygon face, or polygons here, and I can select those. What's polygon number? What number is polygon, guys? 4. 4. Okay. And I can use this tool called Inset. Okay. This is what Inset does. Inset right here, and I always tell everybody there's this little box right here. You guys can see it. It's actually a really big monitor. There's a little box right here. That's like the settings tool for this. Okay. And what you can do is you can click it, and now you've got these numbers right here. And what these numbers do, let me zoom in here so you guys can see, is they allow you to make the box bigger or smaller. You see that? And then I'm just doing this for like side paneling. So I'm going to hit OK because I like Suicide, or the old Apache trucks. You guys know what I mean? And I'm just going to select these ones here, and then now those look kind of funky the way that that came out because and there's a better way to do this. Yeah, that's not going to do it right. So usually what I can just do here, if I wanted to do it this way, is just use the move function here and move those out.
You can't move them at the same time?
You can, but I'm just doing it this way for right now. Now these aren't even, so this is where I usually tell people to just delete the other half. Just basically take your marquee selection tool, make sure you're on polygon mode, and delete it. So now all you have is half. The reason for that is because when we're done, we just go here to mirror, and there it is again. Okay? This way you can, you know, do everything that you need to do to your object just to half of it without having to keep, you know, mirroring over or trying to do the same that you did to one side to the other. That's makes it a lot faster too. So anyway, I'm not going to get into this too much further because I want us to head to the lab here. And like I said, it's just moving these vertices around, trying to, you know, make it look the way that you want it to look. I usually tell everybody this. For right now, for your beginning in 3D modeling, okay, less is more. Okay, use as very little polygons as you can, very little edges and vertices. Okay. Some students a couple quarters back, they had like 800 vertices, and they were sitting there spending hours trying to move every little one, just a little bit. Okay? And half of them I had to sit there and go, oh, man, you got to do that over. And you get faster. Every time you do it, you get faster. You do it once and you're like, oh, I screwed up. Don't try to fix it. Just hit delete, start over. Because you'll get back to that point in half the time that it took you the last time. Now, with that said, real quick, I'm going to pause this playing.